My gosh, like I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm still trying to get away. My leg is bit up at this point, but I felt like I couldn't even cry in the moment because like my adrenaline was so high. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cameron for everyone that is new here, and today I am going to be doing a get ready with me / story time because I have a few errands to run, and yeah, like let's just get ready. I'm gonna get into the video. So I'm about to come sit down and like literally just do my makeup. Okay, I don't know if I like it. Let's close the blinds. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna be doing my makeup. I need to grab my mirror so that I can see. Like I was saying, I am going to be doing my makeup in today's video and telling a story time. Very true story. So the story time that I'm telling today is the time that I got attacked by a dog, which is kind of why I'm literally not a dog fan till this day. So back when I was like 11, so I'm 21 now, so yes, literally this was 10 years ago, but like trauma is real. So literally back when I was like 11, I used to play outside like literally every single day. Like that was like my thing. I loved to play outside. Like it was just literally the best thing ever to me. And this is around the time that I lived in North Carolina. So I literally lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for like 3 years. And this was during that 3 years. And I had this friend that I'm really close with at the time. And she used to invite me outside like all the time. And we loved to play together and things like that. So yeah. So one day in particular, she came because we stayed in the same apartment complex and we went to the same school. So one day in particular, she came to me and to my apartment and was like, let's play outside, like let's go like hang out. And so I'm like, you know, I'm always down. It's summer, you know, I wasn't doing nothing, plus I was literally 11. Like what do I have going on for real? So of course I go hang out with her, just hang out all the time. And so we were going to our friend. So okay, I'm gonna name this girl, we're gonna say her name is, it's like a pretty girl name. Like I literally can't think of a name. Let me think. A pretty girl name. We're gonna say her name is Alicia. So Alicia is the first girl. Like this is the girl that I always hang out with. So me and Alicia were like super close at the time. And there was another girl who lived down the street from us who was friends with Alicia's little sister. And so she lived in the neighborhood behind the apartment complex that we both, like me and Alicia, were staying at. And so we get to, let's see, what's like her name is like Ashley. I don't know why I'm thinking these names. So we get to Ashley's house. Ashley is the girl whose house me and Alicia were going to. So it's me, Alicia, and Alicia's little sister. We go to Ashley's house, and Ashley, like I was saying, lives in the houses or the neighborhood behind me and Alicia's apartment complex. So as we are on our way there, we go pick up my bike from my storage that my parents had at the time, and we go over there. So it's not even that far of a ride, like it's just like literally the neighborhood behind. So we were biking there, and as we're going there, Alicia is telling me about this dog that just came and not like attacked her, but like ripped off a piece of her shirt. Like I could visibly see like a part of her shirt was like ripped because this dog had just came and like bit it off of her. So I was like, oh my gosh, like you good, girl? Like it was like really crazy what she was telling me. So I'm like, oh my god, like what are you talking about? Like is it a big dog? Like what? And so she just explained that it was a really big dog and that, you know, it was outside Ashley's house. And so I was like, oh gosh, like okay, so we're going, and we get there, whatever, and it was like same, like we're just standing outside, we're just talking, like it was literally like a regular day. So we're talking, we're hanging out, and we are standing in front of Ashley's house. Yes, so we're standing in front of Ashley's house, and that's where Alicia's little sister was. So it was me, Alicia, her little sister, and Ashley. We're outside her house, and we're just talking, doing little girl stuff, you know, nothing crazy. We're just talking, and they're telling me about this dog that had been around and literally attacked Alicia earlier that day. So like I'm like a little alarmed, like okay, like y'all good, like oh my gosh, you know. And so Wait, okay, can we get into the base of that though? Like, period. So I need a brush for this. One sec. All right, so now that we're back, where was I at in the story? I don't even know where I'm at in the story anymore. So Ashley, so we're just talking or whatever, and they were explaining how this dog had came earlier, and literally that was super aggressive and whatnot. So, oh my gosh, like that's a little alarming to someone that's 11, but we were all like really young at the time. So they're telling me all that, so I was like, oh shoot. And for some reason, when they were telling me that, I didn't choose to go home. I don't know why, but I just was like, maybe I'm still hanging out with the girls, like whatever. So we're standing in front of the garage of the neighbor's house where Ashley lives. So we're standing there, and as I'm standing there, standing over my bike, but I'm not riding it. Like I'm like in a stance, like holding my bike, if that makes sense. So literally as we're just chopping it up talking, the garage opens that's in front of Alicia's house. So the way that the street was set up was literally, she lived on like a corner, and the house that was like in front of her house was facing the opposite, and their garage was like facing outwards when her house was like right here. So the garage is literally right in front of her house across the street. So the garage opens, and the huge, it's big to me now, like a huge German Shepherd come bolting out of the garage, and I was like, oh my god. So I try to get on my bike, but then the dog is coming so fast that I literally could not, there's nothing I could have done. And this dog gets on me, like my leg is bit up, like bites my leg. I'm in the middle of the street getting dragged by this dog. And the owner, I don't really remember the owner coming out or anything, but the owner was literally right there watching all this happen. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm still trying to get away. My leg is bit up at this point. It's me like, full, like mouth open, like literally took a chunk of my leg off. My leg was so done. I'm at the point now, bit up, the car comes in the middle of the street, the dog chases the car. And so now I'm in the middle of the street, literally done for. Like I literally can't even, my adrenaline is on 20. I'm so in shock that this even happened. And all the other girls that were there were just like crying. But I felt like I couldn't even cry in the moment because like my adrenaline was so high. So yeah, so at that point, I run into Ashley's house because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this dog is gonna come, I'm gonna die. Like I literally thought I was gonna die. We get into Ashley's house, and Ashley's mom was there, and at first like Alicia's little sister and her friend, so Ashley and Alicia's little sister were like laughing when I got in the house. Like I guess they thought it was like so funny that I just got like literally attacked by this dog. But they literally look at my leg and they start feeling bad. They're like, oh my gosh, like Ashley's mom was like, do you need me to get a towel? Like what are we gonna do? So I'm like, I need to get back to my house so my mom can take me to the hospital, because like my leg was literally split open, like, to the point where you can see like the white meat coming out of my leg. Like my leg was just like gushing, like it was literally leaking. And so my leg is like literally leaking, and I'm like, I gotta get back to like my parents. Like I need to go home. So Ashley's mom literally like drives me back home, and so she drives me home, and at the time I literally lived on the 3rd floor of this apartment complex. So my mom, or she like literally helps me upstairs. Like I literally could not walk. I'm like limping using the stair railing on the stairwell. Like there wasn't like no elevators or anything, so I was needing so much help. So after that happened, get into my house, I immediately get home and I just start bawling, crying. Like I'm like literally crying. I see my mom and I'm like crying. My siblings are home and I'm just like a mess. So my mom is like, okay, we have to go to the hospital. Like we can't, like my leg is literally leaking. So we go to the hospital, or we go to the ER. That's where we go. We went to the ER, and the whole ride there I'm like crying and I'm just like kind of scared. I'm like, Mom, like I literally just got eaten up in the middle of the street. Like it was crazy. So we get to the hospital, or we get to the emergency room, and I remember when I got there, like there was this lady, like an older lady, that had a knife in her arm, and she was cutting up fruit or something, if I remember correctly, and the knife that she used went through her arm, so she had literally like a knife and like a towel over it. She was leaking, I'm leaking, like, it was a mess in the ER that day. So they take her back or whatever, and then I got taken back. I don't really know how long I was there because my adrenaline was so crazy. And then Alicia and her little sister ended up coming to the ER too, and they were just crying, and it was a lot. So, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna be okay, like I'm gonna get these stitches or whatever. Yeah, so that was that. So later that night, I get called back, or I don't even remember like how long I was there, but I got called back, and I don't know, I remember like my ER doctor's name, like his name was Kevin, and he helped me a lot that day. Like I remember, like, he was super funny, and he was trying to, like, you know, distract me from all the madness that had happened that day. And so I was talking to him, and he just was like, okay, like you have to get stitches because your wound is so big. Like usually when people have dog bites, you're not supposed to close them up, but since mine was so big, we had no choice. So we you know, like they arranged for me to get stitches or whatever. Like they took x-ray to see how deep the bite was, and after that we had to wait, where am I in the story? They explained to me that I have to get stitches, and I had to get a shot. Like I believe it was a tetanus shot. So I got my tetanus shot, and it was literally the most painful thing ever. Like I think getting that shot was like more painful than the actual dog attack, just because I wasn't expecting it. Like I was laying on my stomach, and they were just like okay, like how old are you? Like they're just trying to distract me. But then I just feel like this really sharp pain, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm screaming, I'm like yelling for my mom. It was literally so bad. So after I got my shot, I don't know if they numbed it or what, but I ended up getting my stitches done. I think I had like between 22 to like 25 stitches, like just in my leg alone, but also I had like cuts on my feet from being dragged. Like literally it was so bad. So I had cuts on my feet. I think I had cuts like on my bottom a little bit. Like I had a lot. It was just like scarred, like my hands were a little cut up. It was just like all bad. So anyway, so I get my stitches, and they wrapped it up because they wanted me to still walk. Like it was really hard to like fully extend my legs just because the bite was like a little bit below my knee, so it was really hard for me to like walk correctly without a limp, if that makes sense. So I'm walking, or after I got out from the ER, I went home, and we stopped by the people's whose house, wherever that dog lived, that's where we went after. I showed my parents, like, this is the house, like this is crazy. Like it, like even like trying to explain it now, since this was like 10 years ago, it's like kind of crazy. But I literally was so traumatized that day. And so I had to set my face. So I literally was so traumatized that day, like it was crazy. So I ended up going back to their house, and my dad like went to the door and was like, your dog attacked my daughter earlier. Like like I remember because I was in the car and my mom was driving, and we went there after. And then yeah, so it took me a long time to fully recover. Even after I went home that day, I woke up, and getting up the next morning was difficult because I couldn't walk. Like I needed help to literally do everything. I remember I would text my mom like, I need to use the restroom, and like, she would have to come in and help me. And she would have to come in and help me because like walking was a whole nother thing. And at the time, like, I'm like 11, so we can't pick me up and carry me places. It was a lot. So even now, I'm like a little traumatized from dogs. Like it's bad. Like it used to be I would see a dog and be like, nope, going the other way, I'm not doing it. Now I'm still like that. But it's a little bit better because I can handle it a lot better. Like, okay, I'm aware there's a dog. Like if I even hear like a collar, I'm like, like I can't do it. especially big dogs. Like German Shepherds themselves, like I'm literally not doing it, like not happening. It's just really difficult for me to, I don't know, I just can't do them. Like they're just not for me. So now when I see dogs, I try to, like, you know, because I am like 21 and it is, then this all was a really long time ago, but like I just associate dogs with like, being attacked and like all that pain that I experienced. Like, it was literally so crazy. So now I'm in the stage of like trying to get over it. Like I have friends now that are like, oh, I'm gonna take you to a dog shelter, I'm gonna like, you know, we need to try to work on this fear. But I'm just like, boy, like like it's a lot more difficult. But I will say I've grown a lot from that experience. Like, I literally should have listened to my gut, because even in the beginning when I was with Alicia and we were going towards the house, I had a gut feeling like, you know, turn around, don't go. Like in my gut I felt like a pull to go back to my house, and I didn't. Like I was just like, you know, I'm just hanging out with the girls. Like I'm like fighting my own brain at this point. I'm like, no, like in my body, my stomach is like, no, don't go. But then I'm like, I should go. And then I ended up getting attacked that day. So the moral of the story, like what I learned that day, this was literally 10 years ago. What I learned that day was listen to your gut. If you physically feel like you should not be doing something, you probably shouldn't be doing it. You know, like it was just a really traumatic experience for me, and that I probably could have avoided if I listened to my gut. But sometimes those feelings can be life-changing, hence I'm afraid of dogs now. But I don't know, like it's a lot. I could be around them. I'm probably not gonna pet a dog or anything like that, just because it's just too much for me at this point. But yeah, so that is the story time. Now I am ready. Like I've done everything, like makeup wise. Like I don't really do too much. Like I just wanted something light. I wonder how this looks in the light though. I just wanted something light. But yeah, so that is my story time. That's my story time. I hope it all makes sense. I don't know, but yeah, story time of me getting attacked by a dog literally 10 years ago. But it still affects me that day. I should listen to my gut. So if you guys have any like feelings of like something pulling you away from something you're gonna do, listen to it, because you never know what can happen. And yeah, so if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I do want to see my makeup in the light though. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. Now I have some errands to run now that I got ready, but I appreciate you guys so much. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Comment down below any video ideas that you want to see me do. Thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I appreciate all of you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.